Hey beauties, so today I am showing you my base routine, super fast forwarded because otherwise the video will be mad long, but I have been mixing two different colors and then buffing them into my skin with the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. Then I go in with the concealer in Scarlet on my under eye area, and then anywhere where I have additional redness, which tends to be my nose and along my cheeks. That's where my breakouts have been recently. So then I'm using the Real Techniques blusher brush to put on some setting powder just to keep that in place. Then I'm using the blusher brush and the bronzer in Sunset and lightly using that as a bit of a contour slash bronzer to give my skin a little bit of color. Then I use the brow palette in Dark and the brow artist brush to fill in my brows and make them a little bit more defined, and then I go through with a spoolie to just sort of make it look a little bit more natural. Okay, so let's do some eyeshadow. So I'm starting off with the matte Splurge in Unapologetic, and I'm using a shader brush for this. So I really want to use this as my transition shade. I want it to be all above the crease and blended above. It's just like such a beautiful, nice, warm matte, I guess like an orangey red. Okay, so I'm just really blending that color out and then adding more so that I get the color payoff that I want. And then I go in with my finger and put that along the lower lash line. And if you look on the other side too, I do, after smudging it into the lash line, connect it to the outer edge of that upper lash line as well. So I really do want there to be like some cohesiveness there. And then again, adding more and blending it. So I keep doing that. Lots of blending and adding so that I can get the color intensity there. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with one of the metallic splurges in Ferocious, and it is a metallic dark blue, which is really gorgeous. So I'm putting that on the outer portion of my moving lid, and I'm using a cream shadow brush, and I'm just kind of building that up. I want it to be lighter on the inner corner and darker on the outer corner of my eye. So again, just kind of sort of layering that and dabbing it on with that cream shadow brush. So I was kind of going for like an Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones type of, I don't know, combo look here. Okay, so I'm continuing to build that up and even put it a little bit higher on that outer edge. Now I'm going to use the other side of the cream shadow brush, and I'm going to use the color Dreamy, which is one of our shimmer cream eyeshadows. And I just want to use that on the inner corner and then just kind of blend them in the center so that it looks like sort of like a silver, you know, gradient to a dark blue, which I think is really pretty. So then I'm going in and intensifying the Ferocious color again, because sometimes when you do that where you mesh the colors in between, you need to keep adding each of the different colors to make sure that you keep like the intensity that you want. And I start building it up even higher on the outer edge, just because I want you to be able to see that color even when my eyes are open, which they typically are most of the time. Alright, and then I'm going back in with the shader brush to build up that Unapologetic red color again, just because it kind of got blended out a bit much, so I'm doing it on the lower lash line as well, just to make sure, you know, I keep that color. And now I'm going in with the blending brush, and this definitely was going into my brows a little bit, but I really just wanted to fade the edge so that it wasn't like a very exact line. So my brows did like hold, but you know, just for the record, sometimes you might need to go back in and then, you know, work on that. Okay, so I'm going into Dreamy again at the beginning just to intensify, and now I am pleased with the colors. So I'm going in with Proper, which is a dark brown eyeliner on my upper lash line. And I'm doing my usual eyeliner shape where it's really just a thin line along the lashes and then it's slightly thicker on the outer edge. Now I'm going back into that blending brush to really just soften those edges again, just to make it a little bit more wearable, and I just really like how that looks. So now I'm going back into the bronzer in Sunset. So a lot of times I'll go in and add more product on my cheeks after I've completed the eyes, just because I feel like I get a better gauge of like what my skin looks like next to it and if I need some additional color. So I do add a bit more along my hairline, on my cheekbones, and now I'm going in and curling my lashes with my favorite eyelash curler, Uemura. And I've been doing this especially when I've been using false lashes also. Okay, so now I'm going in with Epic Mascara. I usually do 2 coats on my upper lash line and usually 1 coat on my lower lash line if I'm doing a smokier look or doing false lashes. It just tends to look good to have something on my lower lashes since I only have like 3 of them. Still just seems to do something. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with false lashes. I'm doing the Ardel Wispies. So I have really tiny eyes. So just for the record, I have found these to be very dramatic looking, even though they're considered one of the natural ones. I'm using the Duo Lash Adhesive, and sorry I went a bit out of frame there, but this is pretty much the best application that I've been able to do is with my fingers. I have 2 different tweezers. I'm very proud of myself in case you're wondering, and I'm singing. But anyways, that's the best way I've found to apply those false lashes. Okay, so then I'm going to add a little bit more color to my cheekbones with the Seductive blush on the blusher brush, just on sort of like the apples of my cheeks and blending out. I just like that additional color. Now I'm going to go in with some Benevolent Luminizer. This is the powder version. So I'm putting that on the inner corners of my eye. These are just kind of the typical places that I put the luminizer / highlight. Down the bridge of my nose, upper part of my cheekbone, and my Cupid's bow. You'll notice I don't really do the tip of my nose anymore. I feel like that may benefit people who have a really tiny nose, just to kind of elongate it, but for those of us that have kind of regular size noses, I feel like the bridge of the nose is probably the most flattering place to put it. Okay, so then I'm going in with the eyeliner / lip liner in Prim, which is a light brown. It goes on a little bit strong, so I do blend it with my finger. Since my eyes, I think, are quite dramatic, I want to keep my lips pretty chill, which is kind of my usual plan. So again, just blending this out with my fingers and giving my lips a bit of a brown sort of like tinge, and just buffing it in with my finger. And then over top of that, I am going to go in with one of our lipsticks. I've been using this one a lot lately. This is a shimmery nude color called Well To Do. And I feel like you can use a lot of different lip liners underneath of this to, I don't know, just get like a nice nude finish. Okay, so I'm going to add some Prudent lip liner, which is like a nudie peach, just to give my lips a little bit more color. I felt like they were looking a little bit too nude. And then I'm adding some Lunar lip gloss. I've been liking the look of glosses lately, and this one's got like a goldish color to it. So this is the finished look, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and happy holidays!